Howdy, and welcome to Monday's edition of Today's Bread. Now, we're currently in a series called Messages on the Old Testament. This week, we're going over the Psalms, God inspired poetry, with today's portion is Songs of Prayer When All Seems Lost. Our scripture reference is Psalm 13, verses 1 through 4. Now, although the Psalms were used in corporate worship, the circumstances surrounding their composition were often quite personal. Private prayers become poems that have resonated with the experiences of believers down through the ages. Psalm 13, a psalm of David, voices David's fears and stresses during a time that he was under attack. The nature of David's trial is never really defined. Some have suggested he was ill. Perhaps the enemies he referred to were advancing armies. Whatever the cause for David's stress, there is a refreshing honesty in his prayer. Consider the opening verse. David didn't begin his prayer by pretending that everything was fine. He told God he believed that God had forgotten him. Things were that bad. David's circumstances were so bleak he felt like God had withdrawn his blessings, an idea suggested by God supposedly hiding his face. Now in verse 2, David voiced his torment and his tormented thoughts. Inwardly, he was in an anguish of apparent doubt and sorrow. He wrestled with these feelings, but found no relief. Now, outwardly, he believed others were looking for his defeat and undoing. They seemed to triumph in his trouble. Verse 3 continues this downward spiral, going so far as to suggest David's life is in danger. But there is also a turning point here. David may not have felt God's presence, but he acknowledged to God that the Lord was his only hope of rescue. His own attempts to find peace had gotten him nowhere. If God did not step in, he had no hope for the future. His enemies were assured victory if God did not do something to help David. That's verse 4. Many times, our misguided sense of self-reliance impedes the solutions to our problems. The person who believes that his or her own strength and intellect are equal to life's challenges has no perceived need for God. David made no such boast. He felt alone. He felt utterly dismayed. He saw no way to generate any light at the end of his personal tunnel. He was then in a position where faith must take hold of God. Thank you, and I pray that you've enjoyed today's edition of Fresh Daily Bread. Church isn't a place to go to, it's a family to belong to. So come be a part of the family. Well, Monday's prayer focus is God's blessing on Israel and the United States. Pray for God to bless Israel with peace and safety, and for a return to biblical principles in the governments of Israel and the United States. Now remember, Jesus, he's coming back soon. And now here's Monday's blessing. Today's portion of the priestly blessing that I love giving is, may the Lord protect you.